correct.
Right. So you never personally observed Jennifer Alfonso's body. You never personally performed the autopsy, but you're here giving opinions, certain opinions, contradicting the doctors who did all those things, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's discuss some of those opinions that you disagree with. And I want to start with wound 19. That's the one to the back, correct?
Yes.
All right, and that was labeled, I believe, number L in the autopsy report. Is that correct?
L or J was 19 in the back. I don't have it right. I don't have that right in front of me.
Okay, well, it's number 19. We all agree there was only one wound to the back, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And that was the one we saw in the demonstrative aids, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you state that the bullet from wound 19 was the one that was recovered from the incision in her back, correct?
That's correct.
That's your opinion, all right. And the medical examiner here in Miami gave a different opinion, correct?
That's correct.
They opined that that particular bullet originated from gunshot wound 3, which is right about here under her neck, correct?
That's correct.
They opined that it went through her neck, left to right, and ended up in her back, but did not completely exit her back. That was the trajectory they gave, correct?
That's correct.
Right. And you disagree with that opinion, right?
Absolutely.
Even though we have photographs of the dowels inserted into that wound, correct?
The dowels were wrong. The dowels were done before the bullet was removed. The dowels were done probably on the first day of the autopsy, and the bullet wasn't recovered. Maybe it was done on the second day of the autopsy, but that bullet was missed on the autopsy. It was then removed on the second day after another X-ray was taken.
Let's see if we can take a look and find Doctor, can I ask you to just step down for a moment?
Okay, Your Honor.
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So what we're looking at here is a dowel that is inserted in bullet wound 19. Is that correct, Doctor?
Yes.
And what we don't see in this picture is the incision, which was later made in Jennifer's back, where a bullet was removed, correct?
No, that incision was this way, sir.
Right don't
next
see
to the spine. There's another photograph that shows, which is on the back, that shows a incision from here down, a direct track, a direct bullet track.
Right. We don't see that incision in this photograph. It hasn't been made yet, correct?
No incision has been made. That's
Right.
correct.
But we do see the dowel, the trajectory of
Pointing
the
in the
dowel,
wrong direction.
pointing in a direction which is contrary to what you have opined,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
And again, this was the medical examiner in Miami who actually had the chance to insert that dowel into the body, right?
Right.
You didn't have a chance to do that, correct?
That should never be done. That's it. Dowels should only be inserted after the sections, because the dowel itself can then make a perforation. So dowels, we teach the residents at the beginning, should not be inserted. Fingers shouldn't be inserted until after the dissection. Then the dowel was inserted not to find the track, but to demonstrate the track in a photograph. This didn't happen, but it's very easy to push a dowel in the wrong direction and you get another track. This was not an issue here, because the track here is, as you'll see, as you have it, is right under here.
Now, let's talk about what else we can say about this particular wound, Doctor. When this wound went in straight, as you've given your opinion,
Yes.
correct? You say it ended up right somewhere along here, just under the skin?
No, under the skin, right next to the, it hit the spine bone. The X-ray shows it right denting the third thoracic vertebra with third rib insertion, right in here. And I think the doctor felt the dent, thought it was a hole, and that came from across, from the left side across, and it didn't. There's no bullet hole on those X-rays of the chest showing that thoracic vertebra.
All right, doctor, I'm showing you what's been entered into evidence in States 196, okay? And you recognize this as
Yes.
a decision.
Yes.
Right? So now the cut's been made and the bullet is being removed, correct?
Right.
And this is the hole up here, correct?
Got it, right.
And the bullet went straight down there, according to your opinion, right?
Yes.
Okay, and the spine is where? Over here or over here?
This is the right side, and this is right next to, right here is the spine. Well, right around here, right in the middle. And the bullet on the X-ray is right next to the spine. It indents the spine a little bit.
And can you identify which bullet in State's Exhibit number 188 was actually removed from that particular?
This bullet that was removed the day after the autopsy.
Okay, and that bullet is deformed, correct?
Yeah, all the bullets are deformed. This is a lead bullet. It's jacketed at the base, but not the front, so it deforms very easily. All the bullets are deformed.
Right, and a deformation of a bullet can occur when it strikes a hard object. Correct?
Yes, yes.
Like the cabinet door, right?
If it struck the cabinet door is not a hard object. The bullet goes right through the cabinet door.
But you said in your direct that the last shot hit that cabinet door, correct? That
Yeah.
was your testimony.
Yeah.
And it didn't go through, did it?
It did. No, it did. I think it did go through, or because there was a little hole in that door, and the bullet eventually was found underneath the rug.
So if
And I think it got kicked around a little bit when the EMT was there, when the body was removed, because it wasn't found till the next day.
So if it was found under the rug, how could it have gone through the door? That's not possible, is it?
No, while all of the work was done by the crime scene analysis, the bullet somehow came out of the door, hit the door, and was found under the rug. From what I gather, in pretty good condition. That's not shown here. That bullet is not shown here. That bullet is the bullet that didn't hit anything in the body.
So your opinion is that the bullet struck the cabinet door, went through the cabinet door, ended up inside the cabinet, got kicked out of the cabinet, and ended up
That's one way that it could have during the, or it hit the door and then bounced on the ground, but it didn't ricochet off the cabinet door.
All right, but it sounds like you're just kind of guessing or speculating. You would agree, right?
No, I'm telling you how bullets react. Bullets have to hit at a sharp angle. This bullet went in kind of, it flipped out a little piece of the Formica door. The Formica door is very thin. Bullets don't, in order for a bullet to bounce off a surface, it has to be, brick hard, or marble hard or something. It doesn't, it penetrates softer, thinner objects.
All right, doctor, let's take a look at State's Exhibit 195. You're also familiar with this, right?
Yes,
This is one of the pictures that was taken of Jennifer at the moment.
yes,
Correct?
yes,
And this picture shows 3 of her gunshot wounds, right? You see number 1 here to the chin, right? 1 to the chin, here.
yeah.
You see number 3 here, correct?
No, that's not number 3.
That's not number 3? Which one is that?
That one is the top, one of the ones that come out of the breast. You have a picture of it.
Okay.
This is a linear. Number 3 is rounded.
State's Exhibit number 190, this is an overall, right? There's the chin, right? Number 1.
Yeah.
Here's number 3, right? From the left to the
Yeah.
right, correct?
Yeah, but it's round. What you're pointing out is, may I see that for a moment?
Of course.
Thank you. No, the one that you just showed.
Number 195.
Yeah, but you're pointing, no, I'm sorry, could you get this one back? Just wanted to be able to see what's happened here is we're looking at this. We're looking at this.
Right, that's what I said, number 3, right?
Number 3 is here. No.
That was my question.
This is number, no. This is number 3 up here. And this one is one of these two. It's this one here is number 2. This horizontal one is number 2 here.
Okay, help me out. This is number 1.
Right, this is this one here.
Okay, so directly down and to the right from number 1 is number 3. Huh?
Hold on a second. This is number 4 here. This is the bottom of the chin. See, this one is here. Okay, this would be 3, and this one would be 2. Okay.
So my initial question was,
Yeah,
this is
this
number
is
3.
1, yeah, 1, 4, yeah.
All right, so this is number 3, correct?
Yes,
And that gunshot wound has a lot of stippling off to the side of it, correct? Right around here. Is that correct?
it looks like stippling here.
Right.
Can
You
I
can
see
accept
that?
that as stippling.
Can I see that? Because this is the label in the book here. Let's see here. This is, you're saying this is number 3.
I'm asking about
Yes.
Exhibit
Yes.
195.
Yes,
195.
yes.
This is stippling, correct?
Yes.
Around her
Yeah,
neck.
it doesn't show it here. You see, it doesn't show it here, but it looks like it, right.
195 is a closer, better view, though, correct?
It will be a closer view, but there's, yeah.
So this is stippling. Stippling is caused by a close
Yeah.
contact gunshot, correct?
Yeah,
And the skin has to be exposed to the muzzle of the firearm
Yeah.
in order for stippling to get on there, correct?
right.
So if Jennifer's chin were tucked down, that stippling wouldn't occur because her chin would be blocking that wound.
But
correct?
as in the autopsy report, Dr. Johnson describes the stippling coming from 1 and extending over to number in this direction. This direction. You see, there's stippling here and here. So that comes from 3 different directions. So the stippling goes out in cone-like fashion. It spreads a great deal. So stippling in here can spread for many inches. And I think Dr. Johnson mentions that in the report.
And Dr. Johnson's report does, in fact, state that the stippling associated with gunshot wound number 3 is what's seen in that photograph off into the right of the wound, correct? That's what she says on page 3 of the report, right?
You're reading it. But
Would you like to refer to your copy?
Yeah, she says it's consistent. It could have come from 1, extending over, in explaining that. Because, and I agree with that part of it. That part. Hold on a second.
So take your time to look at number 3, page 3, gunshot wound number 3.
Your Honor, respectfully, we have scheduling issues. I know it's 12:30.
We're going to allow him to answer this question, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
It says here that there's stippling that extends to the right of the wounds between A and E. Is that what they call E?
Correct. Number 3 is E.
Yeah. A 3.5 inch of stippling on the anterior neck extends to the right of the wound toward A and onto the anterior neck. So, and it's also on the anterior chin. So I think the stippling that she describes could have come from other gunshot wounds, which is the one primarily in the right side, number 1.
Yeah, may I just finish one little line of questioning
Yes, you may.
before we recess? And I want to just look again at what was shown to you by the defense, which was labeled as Series 1, which was Jennifer's positioning in a standing position, right?
Right.
And her left arm is held up to her face, right?
Yes.
And your opinion was that one of the gunshot wounds that came into her wrist came out of her wrist and re-entered at number 3, correct?
That's correct.
And you would agree that based upon this her neck is tucked down and not exposed to the barrel of the gun, correct?
That's correct. That would be down further. It's the stippling occurs like smoke, powder, so it goes in many different directions. It can go under the neck, over the neck. But I think that the stippling that we're talking about, if it is stippling, is extending from the chin, from the right chin, toward the left side.
You would agree that her chin and her neck are both tucked very far down the way you have her depicted in this diagram.
That's correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we will be taking a lunch break. It is, according to our clock, 12:30.